Welcome to the Let's Talk Data podcast series presented by SAP, where we explore game-changing technology and strategies with leading experts with the goal of maximizing the value of data across your organization. If you haven't done so already, please follow or subscribe to our podcast on your favorite channel to stay tuned in.
Hello, and welcome to the SAP Let's Talk Data podcast called Automate and Streamline SAP Procure to Pay and Order to Cash Processes with SAP RISE. My name is Sheila McCarthy, and I'm from SAP's Solutions and Marketing team, and I'm going to be the host of today's podcast. I've been with SAP for over 17 years now, and I'm actually based in Connecticut, the northeastern part of the United States. And I'm thrilled to have two of my colleagues by SAP's #1 partner, OpenText, with me today to talk about this topic, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Thomas, I'm going to hand it over to you first.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sheila. It's a pleasure to be here on your podcast today. My name is Thomas Heepe. I'm a senior product marketing manager in Alliance and Solution Marketing by OpenText, and I'm responsible for the SAP solutions, especially for our information capture, our SAP Invoice Management, and our archiving solution. And I'm handing over to Cacio.
Okay, hi Thomas, hi Sheila. My name is Cacio Neto. I am the lead product manager at OpenText for the invoice scenario. At this moment, I'm based in Munich, in Germany. We are just started the winter, so it's super cold. But I'm with OpenText for 7 years. I have been in different countries working for the company, in Brazil, in Ireland, in Italy, and now in Germany. And I'm really excited about this podcast and to talk about automation, about invoice management, capture of data, and everything that we're going to be discussing here together today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Thomas and Cacio, for being with me and for sharing your knowledge. I'm excited too. This is a really hot topic. This is something that every customer needs. Every customer has invoice and capture needs, especially in relation to SAP and RISE. And so we're going to get lots of good information. But to give just a small little background, SAP and OpenText have been partnering for over 15 years. And as I mentioned, OpenText is SAP's #1 cloud solution partner, of which we're very proud to be part of that ecosystem. And what OpenText does for SAP is it delivers a host of content management solutions that actually complement SAP's portfolio quite nicely. And today we're going to speak about specific solutions that automate the processing of documents in the SAP Procure to Pay and Order to Cash process. So Cacio, I'm going to start with you. Recently, SAP commissioned a study from IDC, and IDC discovered after talking to SAP customers that by automating your invoice processing, it improved efficiencies by 41%, and it actually reduced the number of invoicing errors by 43%. Those are pretty impressive numbers. So, Cacio, can you tell us how the OpenText solutions help SAP customers automate those procure-to-pay processes and improve those efficiencies?
Yeah, sure, Sheila. Let's start by giving a quick introduction on the SAP Invoice Management, our product that is inside one add-on to the SAP ECC or to the S/4HANA. And since day one, and we have been doing this for 12 years, our focus goes into the automation. What is automation, right? Automation, first of all, is a point of survival. Today, every single company who wants to be well run, to be at the first place, need to have the automation. And for us, our goals, if we talk about invoice, we want to be able to get the invoice posted faster, without user interaction, and with correct data. Because you can also get your invoice posted quickly, but then with wrong data, and that would require to be returned back and then much bigger process. So at the end of the day, what we want to bring is automation where invoice get posted, no user interaction, most efficient, then you have the best cash flow, the best visualization into your process flow, etc. But we also need to remember that automation can be linked. How do you handle the issues? My invoice has arrived, my master data is not ready to yet, I don't have the vendor creating my system, or I don't have my purchase order. How do I handle these kind of situations? And here, our automation is by being able to define the issue that you are having on that momentum of the life cycle of the invoice, and then route to the right user to get solved. Right? And by having all this visibility, by having all this management on the process, have complete administration into the life cycle of the invoice. So that's the way we bring automation to the customers, integrate with the SAP, or by fully imposing the invoice without the user interaction, or by being able to really define what's the issue for that case, and then send to the correct users to take actions. And it's also important to say that when we send to the user, we help them by showing which options they have to solve that problem. If the problem, for example, is with the purchase order, they can create a new one. They can, through the solution, contact the vendor, and etc.
Excellent. Well, that certainly would increase your efficiencies by automating all those different parts of the process. And it brings to mind a story that I was working with a customer right when we were going into COVID a couple years ago, and they were a global customer. And the woman was actually from the UK. She was over in Minnesota, US, and COVID hit and they shut down. And she was the manager of the accounts payable team. And she said, because she had already implemented this solution, Invoice Management by OpenText, that everything that used to be paper-based and sat on someone's desk was now digitized and fully automated. So they were able to carry on businesses and pay their vendors, pay those invoices in a timely manner, even though everything got shut down for quite a time with COVID. So she was very glad that she had already implemented this solution prior to COVID. So that's just one story. And we're going to talk about a couple more customer stories coming up. But Thomas, let me go over to you. A lot of SAP customers are now thinking about moving to S/4HANA, moving with RISE, moving to the cloud, or maybe doing everything. So can you tell us, like, when would be a good time to implement these solutions that we've been talking about?
Oh, yes, Sheila, that's a very good question. And at the end, it's all about increase productivity and simplify your business processes. So customers can implement these solutions before a move to S/4HANA or to the cloud, during or even after a move. It really depends on the requirements of the customer. So, however, the sooner you implement, the sooner you start to see the benefits of these solutions. We support customers to automate document processing in preparation for S/4HANA migration with RISE. So we are improving the speed of the S/4HANA migration projects by making it easier for organizations to digitize, archive, and link their documents, reducing the size of the data and document footprint, and enabling easy access and improved compliance within SAP. So OpenText just simplify a customer's journey to the cloud as part of the intelligent enterprise journey. Together with SAP, we deliver continuous innovation and improvement to our customers. So OpenText has a clear value proposition, providing solutions for business transformation. We are the leader in information management. And what we think, without information management, you cannot be successful with your business transformation. So information management is key and critical to any SAP processes. Documents are nearly everywhere. And think about all business processes either start with information, think about accounts payable, what we are talking today, incoming invoices, or employee health and safety, incident reports. And business processes consume information. So think about make an order, request for a quote, or asset maintenance, asset information. And they generate information. For example, accounts receivable, customer invoice, shipping, the delivery note, or asset maintenance, repair instructions. So information management is really critical to all the SAP processes, and we enable intelligence. Data can tell you many things at a given point in time, but it cannot tell you everything. So how much of the knowledge related to SAP process is contained in information? How can a process be considered optimal and agile if the information needed is stored in someone's desk or in Teams or on their laptop? You all know these, I would say, silos of information. So we challenge this and we increase productivity. And you all know it, do more with less. Organizations need to be more agile and more productivity. That's a key aspect even in the pandemic. So the customer demand, supply chain demand, sustainability initiatives are all pressing challenges for an organization that need to be accelerated. And think about compliance, reduce risk. Business continuity and compliance are at risk due to the problems handling unstructured content. A PDF stored in an SAP database could contain personal information. Could you find it and redact it if it needed? Are you storing your SAP data in a compliant manner? So a lot of key topics around compliance. And at the end, a big challenge for the business and IT is always reduce TCO. So business demands that TCO be reduced, and legacy systems are costly to maintain, to do an upgrade of the latest version. So storage and infrastructure, and think about power costs. They are all increasing, and unstructured content is driving higher content handling costs. That's clear. As content evolves, you should not just keep adding more and more storage space into your data center. You need a better way. You need at the end, an information strategy, and that's what we want to achieve.
Excellent. And that is a great point. The storage costs are something to also consider when you're looking at a move to RISE or to the cloud. You want to be very efficient with that, and also understanding where compliance fits in as well as to what kind of information to keep and what kind of information you can either archive or even delete at the right time. So
right.
Perfect.
Yeah, and even as you implement the solution, your business will be changing. And whilst you will probably focus on core processes first, there's always additional value to be gained from information. So it's a journey, it's not a destination.
Exactly. And that leads me to my next question for Cacio. So we have this solution, we've mentioned it, it's called Invoice Management. However, it goes way beyond invoices, and it goes into things, documents such as sales orders or delivery notes. So can you tell us, Cacio, a little bit more about some of the productivity that you might gain in another process like order to pay or procure to pay, for example?
Absolutely, Sheila. Yes, the procure to pay with the invoice, I would say, is the most common scenario we have today with Vim. And we do this for a long time. But then the same kind of automation that we bring for the invoice universe, we could spread and we could use for other kind of document types. And that's what we have decided to do now with the quotation, with the order confirmation, and with the good receipts, covering the procure to pay, not end to end, but at least the invoice process that's going to need to be paid at the end of the flow. And these are key elements of the process. That's the key elements for the automatization and as part of the digital transformation from our customers. So they have a solution that are able to digitalize and automate their invoice, but then also the other document types, the other documents into the process that are going to be filling and really completing their process flow.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. And, just to clarify for anyone that's listening, so you wonder why we might call it invoice management, and we handle all these other documents, including customized documents as well. And it's just because invoice management has been such a great selling and such a productive solution for our customers. We didn't want to lose that by naming it something generic like document management. So anyway, invoice management does invoices plus so much more. So that's terrific. Now, Thomas, we've talked about some customers that have implemented these solutions with great success. Can you tell us some of the experiences that you've had with customers that have used these solutions and have seen some of the benefits we've discussed today?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have a huge customer base worldwide for information capture, for SAP invoice management and archiving solutions. And SAP customers are realizing significant value by leveraging SAP Enterprise Content Management Solutions by OpenText to optimize their document and vendor invoice management related operations. So yeah, if you ask our customers, they will describe the following realized benefits, starting with enabling savings on invoices, compliance and operational activities through quicker access to documents, improving the speed of the S/4HANA migration. We talked about it, yeah, in the prepare phase to have a view on your landscape and to reduce the data footprint before migration by making it easier for the organization to digitize, archive, and link their documents, reducing the size of the data and document footprint. So, yeah, a lot of big benefits. And I have a customer quote, yeah, and the customer was saying everything was paper-based before. Invoices were time-consuming. That was the main driver to moving to a digital approach. There was 300k euro lost on paying invoices, not getting the 2% of discounts. We needed better visibility to the accounting department. So yeah, more efficiency, more speed in the invoice, more reporting, and of course an efficient audit process. That's also very important. And yeah, let me share another example. We have a big energy company which is using SAP Invoice Management by OpenText, and they reduce the pending invoice backlog by more than 70% thanks to faster, more efficient processes with our solutions. They improve monitoring of the accounts payable workflow. They increase the number of invoices going to validation without prior action by the accounts payable team by 30 to 40%. And that's what's most important, touchless processing. Yeah? Cut the manual processing time using optical character recognition technology. Yeah? Our modern cloud-based OCR capability to extract all the relevant information from invoices and at the end realize a saving in early payment discounts just 12 months after implementation. That's what we want to achieve. And also here a nice quote from the accounting director. He said, with SAP Invoice Management by OpenText, we have streamlined the accounts payable process across our entire business, helping ensure that suppliers are paid on time and that we purchase products and services at the lowest possible price. And that's what counts, especially in these times of crisis, of supply chain disruptions. And this is really, really nice to see. And last but not least, we have a global electronic distributor who automatically captures key data with OpenText vendor invoice management. And also it helps to reduce manual work and ensure timely deliveries. And instead of having employees type all the information, such as product quantities and dispatch data into SAP, the solution uses optical character recognition, as I said, to capture all the information automatically. And that was a part of its transformation strategy. And they centralized all the customer order processing to a dedicated team. And they knew that automating repetitive data entry processes had a huge potential to reduce costs and cut the risk of errors in multiple business areas. So they deployed our automated platform. They started with invoice processing. As always, it's always a good entry into the information management platform. But then they realized, hey, it's much more than just invoices. We have a wide range of document types. So let's include quotations, delivery notes, PO confirmation, even sales orders, and let's process it with our vendor invoice management solution from OpenText. And they were very happy, and they quickly realized the potential and did a great job. And that's where we are proud of, that customers improve the quality and the correctness of their invoice processing and increase the automation in their departments. And that's what it makes so excellent.
Excellent. That's so good to hear. I always love to hear that customers are actually seeing value from the software. I've been in the software business a long time, and this is one of the solutions that I've seen that you can really quantify those benefits. You know, some software, it's not as easy to quantify the benefit, but this, because you're reducing the backlog, you're getting that cash flow, you're getting early payment discounts, and you know how much it takes to process an invoice, and you can see how much you'll save, and you'll really get a really strong ROI with the solution. Thanks for sharing those customers with us, Thomas. Cacio, so just to wrap us up here, we don't want to forget there's another very important aspect of document management and invoice management, and that's the actual process of getting the data from that document into a system like SAP, you know, understanding where those components, whether it's an invoice or a sales order, where the date, the name, the address, is it accurate or not? And doing some checks on it. So can you talk about that aspect of capturing the data from those incoming documents and getting it into SAP?
Sure. And Sheila, I would also say the elements of the capture is one of the key factors for the automation. Because if we think about invoice, it always comes to our mind the electronic invoice, right? But then we all know from the recent study that still 80% of the B2B communications are still paper-based. And here comes our big challenge. How can you, our customer who are listening to us, have automation where 8 out of 10 e-com documents will be paper-based? And here the answer for your digital transformation, for the automation goal, is the information capture. Because the information capture that we offer takes one advantage approach to the optical character recognition, the OCR. In other words, in a very simple words, we are able to read the paper document, extract the information, and then send to the system to be processed and to become value. A big advantage of our capture solution is that it's based on the cloud. So it's a powerful platform that we have over 30 years of experience, a very sophisticated machine learning process, and a very sophisticated knowledge base. So together, combining the power of the knowledge base and the power of the machine learning, what we can do, we can adapt it, the capture, the extraction of the data to the best approach, to the most innovative approach, and then capture the information, send to the system, and then get this processed in a digital way.
Excellent. That's really an important aspect of this whole process. And what struck me here I think it's really important is to know that the capture component from OpenText along with the invoice management component are very tightly integrated. And so you have a seamless integration out of the box. There's no, coding that you need to do to bring those two solutions together. And in addition to that, they're also very tightly integrated into SAP. So you look at SAP and it feels like you're in an SAP product because we do this integration, because we've been partnered for so long and that integration is so tight. So, well, I want to thank Thomas and Cacio for enlightening us on the value that customers can see by automating their business processes such as order to pay and procure to pay. I want to wrap us up and I thank everyone for listening, but I think, Thomas, you had one last thing you wanted to share with us, something exciting new that's come out recently. I'll let you share that before I close us out.
Oh, yes, Sheila, thanks a lot. First of all, it was a big pleasure talking to you today about our partnership and the value it brings to our customers. Thanks for having us. It was really a pleasure. And just one more thing, we wrote a book, so we have now a comprehensive guide to the SAP Invoice Management solution by OpenText. It's available end of December as an ebook from SAP RISE, and we are very proud to bring these values to our customers together with SAP as a partner.
Terrific. That's excellent to hear. Well, I want to thank Thomas and Cacio again for taking the time out of your very busy days. I want to thank everyone for listening today to this podcast. Hopefully you got a lot of good insights and information out of it. And I encourage you to look at the additional resources that are available. I have the IDC study that I mentioned at the beginning in the show notes. So if you click onto the show notes, you can see that. You can also see links to other information such as the value calculator, some information you can find on sap.com. And so please, if you enjoyed this, there's many more Let's Talk Data podcasts out there on a variety of different topics. I encourage you to subscribe to the series. Stay tuned for new episodes, get caught up on old ones. And thank you so much for listening, and be well.
Thank you, everyone, as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks again, and be well.
We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Check out the show notes for additional links to information. And please subscribe or follow to join us on the next episode of Let's Talk Data presented by SAP.